from the New Start Discipleship. It is day 25, and we are wrapping up the first half of the reading plan. So we have finished up all the way through the New Testament, the highlights of the New Testament. And so after we're done with, now we're going to go back to 2nd 25 and pick up the Old Testament. And so I'm excited to walk with you through that. Let me just encourage you to plan on, once you get through this 50 days, going back and reading the whole thing and getting the bigger scope. So I'm excited to do that. Let me just set this in context for you, okay? We started talking about Jesus, who he is and what he's done for us. We talked about his teachings and his life, his sinless life, his death for us, his resurrection from the dead, his preaching of, or his call to us to go out and spread the good news of his kingdom. He rules, he reigns. Nothing changes or challenges that. And he expects his people to grow up and be holy, right? And so we've gone through the whole New Testament, and because of his great love for us, he has secured for us a forgiveness and a redemption and a sanctification that is absolutely fantastic. In Revelation 21 and 22, today's reading, we have come to the place where his kingdom, which he began, is continued to spread and grow and take authority over this earth until it finally results in the redemption, the fixing of everything broken by sin. You see, the world and the creation has always been broken by sin ever since Adam and Eve sinned. And Jesus is going to remodel this earth and make it into the what God always intended for it to be in the first place. And that's what Revelation 21 and 22 are. If you start off in Revelation 21, it says, John saw a new heaven and a new earth. In other words, the idea of the dwelling place of God, sometimes we think of heaven as like this floating on a cloud thing, and it's really not. Heaven is a term for the sky, the universe, and all that is around it, and it kind of considers that as the dwelling place of God, and the earth as the dwelling place of man. And so a new heaven and new earth means that God recreates creation, or remodels, I should say. He doesn't ditch the current one. He's going to remodel the current one. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. So it doesn't mean there won't be large bodies of water. It's just that the 2/3 of the earth that's covered with water, and all that the fear that was in the ancient world about that was going to be no more. The sea was the place for most of human history where people sailed away, and then many of them never came back. Storms and boats sinking, and widows walking the shore, watching for their husband's boat to come back. And he's saying, no more of that. And so there's no longer any sea, any water covering 2/3 of the earth. And then it says, I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. So you get the idea that Jesus said, I'm going to go and prepare a place for you, and then I'm going to come again. And he brings the place with him when he comes. So the new Jerusalem is a prepared, glorious capital city for the new heavens and the new earth. And so he goes around and he measures this new city, an angel with John in his vision, in John's vision of heaven, the final destination of God's people. He measures the city, and it's 1,500 miles by 1,500 miles by 1,500 miles. So the world has changed, or else our bodies have changed, and we are able to work and live, and things have shifted enough that we are able to live in a new and incredible city that God has prepared. And it says here that God's dwelling place is now among the people. So back at the beginning, God puts Adam and Eve out from his presence, and they're separated from the good place he prepared. And now God has gone into the hearts of people, changed them from the inside, and now he's brought himself back to them, which is an incredible, incredible idea. God and man were always supposed to be together. And sin separated us from the holiness of God, but God created a way that we can be sanctified and changed and forgiven and brought back until Jesus changes everything and fixes everything that sin broke. No more disease, no more cancer, no more brokenness. I'm going to let you read through and see all of that today, but that's the big picture. and a glorious, incredible finish as the kingdom of God comes in visible glory on this earth. Justice reigns, righteousness is restored, and beauty is everywhere. And that sounds pretty good to me. I can't wait to see you there. So God bless you. That's the reading for today, and then we're going to jump back tomorrow and start into the Old Testament, all right, and cover the backstory. God bless you.